Hello there guys, Francis Gray here, and today I've got a new modelling tip video for you all, which is titled How I Make 3D Nameplates for Dioramas. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do is you want to do like a Google image search. So in this case I'm going to try and print off a Aliens movie logo. So just type in Aliens logo PNG, and if you don't know what PNG does, basically it's a format where that leaves the image a little bit crisper and a little bit cleaner, where like JPEG file tends to mash all the pixels together, which is a lot harder to clean up. So yeah, look for a PNG file if you can. So once you find a logo that you like, just right click it and save it to wherever you want to save it to. And then once you've got your image saved, you want to go ahead and you want to open it up in some kind of art program. Now you could probably just do this on Microsoft Paint if you wanted. Me personally, I always use Clip Studio Art, or some people might know it as Manga 5. So all I do is open up the image and get the logo on there, and then take my time cleaning up the logo. Now you want to create it so the background is white and the letters themselves are black. Now the reason why we do this is we're going to incorporate this image into a 3D modeling software, which will read it a lot better to make it 3D. So I'll show you that step later on, but all you need to do is white background, black letters, and then save it as a PNG file. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do is you want to drag whatever object you want to base your logo on. So obviously if it's going to be an oval, you want an oval. If it's a square or a rectangle, then you pick the square or rectangle block. So you see there, I've just stretched it out. Now obviously you want to take measurements of the work surface of the base, so you don't want to overprint something too big, or you don't want to underprint something too small. So find out what area space you're working with, and then plan your measurements. Now this tends to work via millimeters, and obviously it's 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So you can swap and change these around if you want, but I like to work with millimeters because it really gives you good level of detail, I suppose, with your precise measurements. So you got two tabs up here. So this like cone shaped one, if you click that just transports you're basically lifting it up, or you're smashing it in through the floor. So whatever's underneath won't print, so you don't really want to go under the floor. So you just want to make sure that that's set to 0, and then you're nice and flat on the base. Okay, so the tab underneath, the little square, that is how tall you want this object. Now what we're going to do, or how I usually do my logos, is I'll set it roughly about 3 millimeters. Or let's say three or four. Let's say 4 for this tutorial. Okay, so now that you've got your item, you want to go up to here and you want to click duplicate, and then that's basically made an exact copy of what we've just produced there. So going back to the first one, you want to go over to where it says color, and then you want to change the color so you can tell the difference between the two. So take the first one and then line it up with the second one, and then you want to hit the cone to lift it up. So now we can see where we are working with. So what I usually do is I usually make the copied cube or rectangle a bit smaller, and then you can lower it into place. Now you don't want to lower it all the way down. You just want to lower it a couple of millimeters on the inside. So just scroll around and try and line it up so you've got an even space on all sides. And then when you're happy with your measurement, just drag and highlight it all. And then up here you've got your subtract tool. So hit subtract and it'll say which one. Now there's a list over here on the right, so if you click the first one, now it'll go invisible, the one you want to delete. So in this case this is the right one. So you just click update and then it takes it away. You can see there. So it's not perfect because this is just a rushed tutorial, so you could make that a bit better. If you wanted to go back a step, you just click this undo button back here. Let's just try and line that up a little bit better, just to give you a better understanding. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Okay, still not perfect, but it is better. So for the next part is the logo lettering. Now you want to go here and click and bring out the image tab, so you get this giant big M. Okay, so you want to go down to here where it says change. So you click that, and then your files come up. So you just want to find the file that you've just created, which is the for me it's in here. So as you can see here, all these are other logos that are black and white. So these are stuff that I've made in the past or I'm making for the future. So as you can see there, so with it being a white, the computer ignores the white part, but it makes the black part 3D. So you see there, we've got a perfect aliens logo. So just drag it into place, and then take your time to line everything up, make everything a nice, decent size, etc. And then don't forget to look at a side preview. So as you can see there, these letters are a little bit tall, so we can shrink them down a little bit. Now it is good to make them a little bit more prominent, give the filament something to build up on, and it's easier to paint later on. So once you've got your lettering in a place where you like it, just same again, just drag a cursor over everything, and then you want to click up here where it says combine, and then depending on how detailed the file is, it might take a while to do that, but in this case it doesn't take long at all. So there you go, this is all one STL file now. So if you're happy with it and it's not like undertruding or anything like that, it's just a simple rectangle with the movie logo on there, you can't really go wrong. So once you have that, just right click on it and then it'll say export, and then it'll say what you want to save it as. So you just want to save it as an STL file, and then you click export, and then it'll say where do you want to save it. Now it's a good idea to title it, so aliens test logo, and then I will save it in my pictures. Okay, so that's now saved. So now you can go ahead and you can turn this tab off. Okay, so now that you've exported your code, you want to put it in your printing software, which should come with your 3D printer. So let's load the file that we just created. So I saved it in pictures, so it should be here. So we are aliens test logo. And there you go, comes right in the middle. Now if it loads and it's to the side, now you can go into your options here. So it's move on platform, center. Now obviously different software for different printers, so hopefully you're more acquainted with your variant type. So For the next part, now you can add support, but with this being a flat rectangle, there's nothing you need to support, so that's only for more elaborate logos that you might want to make. So for me, just click print, and then it says what material, PLA, support enabled. You don't really need support with this, but just leave it on anyway. So this is the important part here. So you got like what type of resolution. So low will print it fast, standard is just regular time, high will be a little bit slower, or hyper is really long. Just ignore hyper, you don't really need it. That's there's not much difference between hyper and high. Depending on the logo. Now, with this just being a standard rectangle and just some normal lettering, you'll be fine with standard. But if it's like a really high detailed logo, then you might want to click high for slower. But in this case, we just keep it standard. Now, I always like to click the brim. Now, if you don't know what a brim is, basically, when your printer starts printing, it creates like a very 1 millimeter thin skin around the rectangle for it to print on top of, and that basically just helps limit any warping from your filament. So I always print with a brim, and then just click OK, and then it slices it. Shouldn't take long, and then once you've so there you see there, so there's the brim, it's loaded the brim in as well, so that'll need to be cut off, but like I said, it's only like a 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter thick, so that comes off really easy. So then you just click export code, and then it comes up and it says, right, where do you want to save the new code? Now normally I save it in a USB file, and then I take the USB out to the printer, and then that's where I print it from. So yeah, so that's basically it in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and print this off, and I'll show you the next parts. Okay guys, so here it is printed. Now as you can see there, we've got that brim wall around the side, so that's easily cleaned up. So nice and crisp, lovely details. So yeah, it's the beginning of a nice logo. So you can just use regular scissors for this, but I'm using some of those hobby pliers just to carefully trim that down. And once you've done that, you can take a sanding block or some fine sandpaper, and then you can clean up the edges. Now, the reason why I'm going to go for white prime for this one is purely because the Aliens logo is a light blue, and it will be a lot easier to paint the bright blue on a white base coat than it would be, say, like a black base coat or even a grey base coat. So, depending on the logo is your choice in primer. Okay, so now we're all white primed and it's dry and we're ready for paint. Let's go ahead and paint it. Okay, so now there's paint, we want to go ahead and we want to seal it with either a matte or a gloss varnish. So once it's dry, you're finished. Okay guys, so I hope this quick look at tutorial helped you out. If it hasn't, I apologise. I went into as much depth as I personally know. I'm not an expert in 3D printing. I'm only fairly new to the hobby myself. I've only been 3D printing off and on for about 1.5 years now. But it is a fantastic hobby, and it lends itself into the world of model making and dioramas beautifully. So if you're a figure kit builder or a diorama builder, I highly recommend that you look into purchasing a 3D printer, either resin or filament, or ideally both, because you find out that one works better for one job than the other, and the other one works better for another job. So I hope that made sense. So yeah, so if you've liked this video, please smash that like button and share on Facebook and Twitter, because it helps new people find the YouTube channel, which I'm always appreciative of. Thank you for any help. If you have any comments, comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future builds or future tutorials, etc. And once again, I'm Francis Gray, and this is how to make a 3D logo for your dioramas. I'll see you in the next one.